Aye, Captain. Now that's a fucking high-powered boat right there. You hear that shit? It's coming from the Niagara River. The river's over a mile away. It's a little over a mile to the river. I don't know if notifications went out for this. I don't think they did. Did you get a notification?
My phone went off.
And at the old Donut on a county courthouse, a darker energy still lingers, which is responsible for affecting those who dare to enter it.
You got it.
There is a very strong energy.
I'm looking at myself.
Really soft.
Okay.
You can tell how the spirit could be.
There we go.
It's very likely.
Galactic Nomads. What's up? What's going on? How you doing? Thank you for stopping by. Man, it was a hot one today, man. It was fucking hot today. But for some strange reason, we had a breeze all day. So even though the temperature with the humidity was up close to 100, there was a breeze all day blowing. There's a breeze, but you can feel the breeze and it feels good. Tomorrow's supposed to be just as hot. It's supposed to be like 94 degrees, and humidity's supposed to be up there about 100%. So the heat index, they're shooting for like 106, 107 tomorrow. That's what they're shooting for. Hey, Penny Bunny. What's up, Penny Bunny? The Night Owl. You should change your name to Night Owl. You are a night owl or a vampire. Which one? I used to be like that when I was younger. I would never sleep at night. The only time I would ever sleep is when the sun was up. But now, if the sun is up, I can't go to sleep. It's crazy. You know what I've been seeing right here in my backyard? We've been talking a little bit about how insects are disappearing. Different insects like bees and things like that have been disappearing. I've been seeing some strange insects that I've never seen before. Like, they just look like they're fucking tropical insects. And they were on this bush right here. I don't know what these are, if these are daisies or whatever the hell these are. But they were on here. There's nothing that I can see that's on this bush right now. But this flower right here, on this side of the flower, had this. It was almost like a mini tarantula. It really was. It was pretty big. It was probably about the size of that thing. That little one right there that's butted up, it was about the size of that, and it was on that. And it was hairy as can be. It was like one of the hairiest spiders I ever seen. But it's weird. The actual color of the spider itself was like a turquoise green with a little bit of blue mixed in. So it was like a bluish green, just hairy spider, and I've never seen nothing like that. And then on the other side, and on a few other flowers, there was these weird looking beetles, and these beetles were all fluorescent colors like the rainbow. They were green and orange and yellow and red, like all mixed together. Almost like, you ever see those cars that drive by, and when the sun hits them in different angles, they change colors. So while you're looking at it from one angle, it might be green, it's in front of you red, then when it gets over here, it might be blue. And you ever see cars like that? They used to paint cars with a paint job like that years ago. It was very expensive, so not many people had it, but it was pretty cool. That's what these beetles were looking like, with these fucking weird, hairy, tarantula-looking spiders. You want to go in the house? Come on. You don't want to get bit up out here. Come on. Get your booty in there. You might get bit up out here. But yeah, weird insects that I've never seen before. Almost like they look to me like they're meant to be tropical insects. Now, I know we get some weird stuff where I work. We get some insects that come in because our shipments come in from Colombia. And so we get some weird insects. Like a cuckoo wasp. We had a cuckoo wasp in my work the other day. They're actually like a bluish, greenish, turquoise color. And they're wasps. And they kill all the other wasps and eat all the other wasps. They actually lay their eggs inside of other wasps' nests, and then when the wasps hatch in the nest, they just start going crazy and eating the whole nest, all the other wasps in the nest, and they basically eat the nest from the inside out and kill all the other wasps. And they're pretty big time in the wasp world, but from what I've read up on, they can't sting you, so that was a good thing. But we're not supposed to have them up here in Buffalo, New York, cuckoo wasps, because they're only in hotter type areas like deserts mostly, but they are found in tropical regions like South America and shit like that too. We have a giant African wasp here now. That's crazy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Different insects. It's like certain ones are disappearing, but I'm starting to see other ones flourishing. Weird insects that I've never seen before in my life. And I pay attention to shit like that. I'm always looking at the ground at different ants and insects crawling around. You know, if I see an insect, I always get real close to it and check it out and see, what kind of insect it is. Nowadays, you never know what's poisonous, what's not, We now have poisonous spiders up here in Buffalo, New York. We now have brown recluses up here. I don't know if we have any black widows. I don't think we do, but brown recluses we definitely got now, because my mom's neighbor actually got bit by one in the back of his neck when he was cleaning out his garage one day. He was up on a shelf up in his garage, and he felt a bite on the back of his neck, and chewed his neck, went about his day, and as the day started progressing, I guess, his neck started getting in more pain. He started feeling more and more pain. What's going on, Gary? He started feeling more and more pain in his neck. He can't see the back of his neck, but he's just feeling more and more pain, you know what I mean? But he says, maybe it's just whatever, I don't know. So he lets it go. And he lets it go for, like a week or so. Probably, he just lets it go. And finally the pain got too overbearing, and he, was feeling back there, and it just felt weird to him. And so he went to the hospital, and the doctor told him he had a brown recluse bite. And what the bite actually did to his neck is it started eating away at the flesh. So where the spider bit him, the flesh started decaying around that area, and it started spreading and spreading and spreading, till eventually he had a, somewhat of a hole in the back of his neck. It was disgusting. And he almost died from it. and he lives right next door to my brown recluse. And they say they can't survive the winters up here, but they're finding ways. They're very resilient. They're finding ways because they're up here. You know, they're not as, you know, many as there are down south, but they're up here. So you got to be careful of your surroundings at all times. What's going on, Gary? Penny in the house collecting nomads. We are seeing Chinese ducks in Colorado. Really? Chinese ducks in Colorado? That's fucking nuts. They flew a long way then. Are they only supposed to be like native to China? If so, that's pretty crazy, you know. That's a great distance they're flying. Whoa, that's a long distance. There was millions of them. Now I barely see them. What, Gary? Ducks? Me too. We got a golf course right at the corner of my street. It's filled with ponds and creeks. And we always get the Canadian geese there every year. Ducks there all year round. And quite frankly, I haven't seen that many ducks this year. I haven't. Except for the other day when I seen that group of them flying in a triangle pattern over my house. I thought it was a TR-3B at first. I got all excited, but it was fucking ducks. And they were flying in a hurry. To where? I have no idea. Whoa. Those planes almost collided up there. They're flying almost at the same altitude. They almost collided. That was a close call. That was a close call right there. Lightning bugs, bro. Oh, yeah, bro. I haven't seen any this year at all. I'm glad you said that because we get them here too, believe it or not. We get them in my yard every year. We get them in my yard. Down at the golf course, they get them. You know, there's times of the year and during the summer where you could drive down East Park and you'll see them all throughout the golf course lighting up. And that's a pretty cool sight to see. We haven't seen any this year. Lightning bugs. I forget what we call them up here. There's a certain name. Maybe it is lightning bugs. Yeah, lightning bugs. Yep. That's what we call it up here too. Yeah, I haven't seen one the entire year. We used to hang out down at the golf course and drink and shit. And sometimes in the summer it would be cool as hell because we'd be surrounded by them. You know, and you couldn't see them because it was dark, so you couldn't tell where they were going to go next because they popped their lights on, then they pop them off. Then they pop their lights on, then they pop them off. I don't know how they do it, but it's like a light switch. It goes on and off. And they appear in areas, then they disappear, then they light up in other areas. It's pretty cool. Yeah, through the years, when I was a kid going into my teenage years and into my early 20s, you know, I'm going to say my teenage years, we were loaded with them. They were everywhere. And as the years progressed, I'm 38 now, as the years progressed, we started to see fewer and fewer of them. Last year, I think summer, I seen like 2 in my yard, and I seen like 3 at the golf course, and like 1 or 2 somewhere else. We're having April time birds in July. Well, the Earth, you know, it's the cycles are all fucked up here on Earth, and they're starting to get fucked up. You know, weather manipulation, weather in itself is changing. There's just, you know, crazy storms kicking up out of nowhere. You know, record numbers of tornadoes. You got the threat of volcanoes that loom every day. You got the threat of Yellowstone, Yosemite, and all those things, you know. They say once Yellowstone and shit blows and pops, it's over with. They're saying that's an end-all volcano eruption, people. If the thing were to erupt, it would, you know, take out the entire area like a nuclear bomb hit it for, you know, probably hundreds and hundreds of miles, if thousands of miles. I don't know. But the rest of the planet would be affected because there would be a ginormous ash cloud that would just linger around the entire planet. And it would linger there probably for weeks and months, probably months and months, maybe even years afterwards. And what that'll do is that'll block out the sun. And because the sun is being blocked out, therefore nothing can grow, so everything's going to die. Plant life's going to die. Therefore, you know, cows, deers, bears, all that shit's going to die because they rely on the plant life and nuts, berries, whatever, grass, hay. They rely on all that shit. And without it, they can't survive. I don't even see bats at night. I haven't seen a bat either this year, bro. And we see them. The golf course is full of them. We go down there fishing at night for bass because the inner ponds of the golf course, back in the day, back in like the 30s, 40s, 50s, and right up to the 60s, I believe, they were stocking those ponds with fucking bass. And the troops that used to be here, because this used to be an army, you know, could go up there and fish on their days off or whatever. So there's some good bass fishing in those little ponds. I caught one that was, you know, if I didn't have a scale with me, but if I had to guess, I'd say 7 or 8 pounds, and that's fucking pretty big. 7 or 8 pounds for a largemouth bass, that's pretty fucking big. That's a big fish. That's a big bass. That's the you don't want to fuck with me bass. That's the alpha fucking bass probably in that pond, you know. Well, if there's one, there might be even more that size. You know, and I've caught some significant size ones in there. You know, a lot of 5-pounders, It seems like the majority of the fish you catch in those ponds are, you know, in between 3 to 5 pounds. So that, you know, those are even pretty good for bass. You know what I mean? 5 pounds. That's a hell of a smallmouth bass. A 5-pound bass. It's a nice bass. You know, that's tournament worthy. Oh, but they used to always swoop. When we're fishing down there, they're swooping in between our, like, there'll be 3 or 4 of us fishing, and they'll be swooping in between us, and you can feel them fly past your head. Some feel the breeze from them. That's how close they get to your head. And the golf course is right here at the corner. I'll show you the golf course. You see this tree? See this tree right here? That's on the golf course. That's the golf course. I'm right on the edge of it. So we get a lot of wildlife. Plus I got this thing, you know, it's went to shit over the years, but it's like a habitat for like frogs and turtles and shit like that. And we used to have frogs come in here all the time, but I haven't seen any. You know, the only thing we got in there now is probably skeeters. Skeeters, and that's it. Probably some dead rodents in there. I wouldn't doubt it. Whoa. Let's see what this thing looks like with the honk dong. Fuck was that? Are you seeing those things flying by? People? There's things flying by on the screen. What the hell is that? You people seeing this shit? What the fuck am I picking up in our sky? What is this? There is shit flying over our heads in every direction. What the fuck? Please tell me you people are seeing that. This is like a different camera thing. And I don't see any bugs. And I'm looking with the naked eye and I can't see any bugs flying back and forth. So I don't know what that is. All I know is I can't see no bugs. Maybe, let me find out. It's been an extraterrestrial highway above us the whole time, and the only way you can see them is with this camera lens that no one ever tries. I mean, what the fuck? Look at this shit. There gotta be bugs. It's gotta be bugs. It's gotta be bugs. I see a bird. Oh, maybe it's birds. I see little birds over here. No. Look at this fucking thing. That's a big plume of smoke right there. Look at that. That's a big boy right there. And it goes right down towards the sun. You see what I mean? There's where the sun's setting, right there. It's going right down, bombarding where the sun is. As always. Because every night, you know, the skies are a little blue, more bluer over here than they are over here. Oh no. Oh, I did download the night vision. Oh, thanks for reminding me. I forgot I downloaded it. I gotta try it. I don't know. Maybe this is part of the night vision thing. Yeah, I did download it. I gotta check it out when this live feed's over. My wife spotted something out front. We have something weird in our grass and our dirt. Right underneath where our air conditioner drips on the ground, we have mushrooms growing. Only, I've never seen mushrooms like this. Normally mushrooms are like that brownish color, you know what I mean? They're either a dark brown or a light brown or almost grayish, smoky-ish looking, you know what I mean? These are fucking red and yellowish orange. They're red, the tops of them are red and the stem of them is yellowish orange. I've never seen any mushrooms like this in my life. Those gotta be bugs. What else could those be? No, that's not a cloud penny. That's a chemtrail. See it? See how big it is? Starts way... They're bombarding the sun. Look. Look at that shit. It goes, oh. Look, and then it gets white. Big and white. It stops right over here. See it? See where it stops? And you know what's funny? Guess what? Is that wasn't there a second ago. And no plane made this. That's not from a plane. That is not from a plane because that wasn't... It was cut off right here about 5-10 minutes ago. This part of the sky didn't have it. Now this part of the sky has a big fucking line going through it. But there was no plane doing that. Because I was looking up there and there was no fucking plane. So what the fuck is that? And this right up here is it looking really fucking weird. And it's still going. Look, now it's going further. Look, look. Now it's spreading further, people. You just witnessed that. Is that a tornado? What the fuck is that? You just witnessed that. Now it's coming down towards the ground. And there was no plane there. You people seen there was no plane there. What the hell just caused that cloud to do that? That's not a cloud. What is that? Did you people just see that? Like, what is that? That's crazy. You people just seen that form because that wasn't there. This little part was not there. Stopped right about here. A couple minutes before that, it was stopped right here. None of that was there. And now it's there. And there's no plane. I gotta go see if this thing's stretching even further. Hold the phones, people. Hold the phones. Go check this thing out, see where this thing's going. Oh, it's ending over there. See, now it's way the hell over there. Look at that. That's nuts. That's nuts. That is fucking nuts, people. That's nuts. And it just formed out of nowhere. Now, I'm always talking about weather manipulation and HAARP and shit like that. Okay? A plane didn't just do that, so something had to have done that because that was not there, people. It was not there. And now it's there. And no plane did that. So what the fuck caused that? What the hell caused this giant chemtrail-like line of just smoke plume to go clear across the sky and block out the sun on one end and go all the way across the sky on the other end to the other opposite spectrum? What would make it do that? Yeah, you could see it without it. Look, here's without it. Here's normal. This is normal camera settings. Look. That's what I'm looking at. It just formed out of nowhere. That's nuts. That is nuts, people. That's nuts. That is some crazy, that goes right up there with some of the craziest stuff I've ever seen. Hell yeah, Penny, that is scary shit. Because I'm always talking about weather manipulation and shit, that they're creating these storms. Well, we were supposed to get thunderstorms this evening, and I don't see any storms headed this way. And they said some of them had the potential to be severe. Now, I'm looking at this thing like this thing's a tornado, because this thing just literally formed by itself. And it almost looked like a tornado, like it was going sideways and then spinning down to the ground. And for a second, I thought it was a fucking tornado, because it just formed out of nowhere. I watched this thing form with my own eyes. It just kept going and spreading and moving. I mean, what the fuck, man? And there was no plane. No plane did that line. No plane did that clear-cut line across the sky. It was almost like it was painted. Kind of like what my live feed screen looked like, the Bob Ross painting. Did you see it? For the main screen for my live feed video, it's a Bob Ross. When you get the notification, it's Bob Ross painting, a little painting with UFOs and shit in the painting, and Bob Ross has got like alien eyes. It's pretty fucking cool. But that thing was like painted. It was almost like somebody took out a paintbrush and just fucking painted that in the sky. Now, if they have gotten good with HAARP and weather manipulation and all that other good shit, geoengineer or whatever, if they have gotten that good where they can just not even have the chemtrail anymore, maybe it's an experiment, y'all. You ever think of that? They know, I just came up with something right here, people. They know that we're on to the chemtrailing now. know that we're not stupid anymore. They know that we're all talking about them chemtrailing now. They know that the public is aware of this and knows this possibly could be going on. So maybe they've been experimenting to try to do chemtrail type lines in the sky without actually having to use airplanes. That way people can't say, oh, a plane caused that. People will just start thinking these are natural clouds. I'm telling you, it could have been an experiment. It could have been a fucking experiment that we did, that our own government just did. They could be running tests, and I could have witnessed this test. Look at this line. Look at it. You could still see it, people. You could still see it. Look at that. It's fucking nuts. That's nuts. That's crazy shit. Yeah, I just showed it without night vision. Now you have other ones forming. This one's literally forming in front of my eyes. We gotta turn on the night vision for this. There's one right here, and it's starting to form. We gotta watch the sky over here, because I think eventually it's gonna work down. It's gonna come this way, and it's gonna work down over here. Let's see if we can get this thing, because we have another line starting to form right here. We have two of them. We have another one starting to form out of nowhere now. And it's connected to this one over here. It goes to one big one, and then right here, it's breaking up. And one's going this way, one's coming down this way, and now there's actually a third in the middle starting to branch out and come down. And you're the witness that there's not any planes doing this. So this is man-made shit. Ooh. Ooh, it's got that rim on it right there. Oh my lord, what is that? What the fuck is that? Yo, this is some crazy shit, man. These fucking lines are just forming themselves here. Diving down. It was clear skies, now it's raining. That's crazy. Yeah, that's how quick it could happen. These things are just forming lines, man. They're all everywhere in the sky now, and no planes are doing it. It's weather manipulation at its finest. It's somebody behind a fucking keyboard fucking with the skies with pushes of buttons. Manipulated skies. Because they're manipulated skies. They're not as they appear. That would be a good name for a page. I should start up a second page dedicated to chemtrails and call it Manipulated Skies. Run 2 pages. No, that would be too much. I can't even run one. The earth is flat. It's a dome. They decide what they want. I've never been able to get on board with that whole flat earth thing. I just couldn't do it. You know, but anything's possible. Like, I don't deny that. You know, I don't agree with it, but I don't never just just throw it away and say it's not possible. Because anything's possible in this fucking world. With this galaxy and the solar system, now these planets and everything were made and put together out of nowhere. Almost like a chemist wizard was up in space fucking around. This shit's just weird, okay? Anything is possible. Black holes, portals, what are the other ones? Not portals, what's another name for, like, portals? Not wormhole either. Vortex. Like vortexes. They're strange. The Earth, here in the United States alone, there's several spots in the United States there's one in Arizona, there's one up in California. There's these fucking spots where shit just goes crazy, compasses go crazy, gravity is almost basically defied, and they can't explain why. They have no idea why. It's just the energy at these locations are just off the charts. There's just so much energy there, and they have the ability for things to open, like portals and things like that. Manipulated skies, guys. The one woman that attempted to walk the whole earth from one to another, and third attempt, she never came back. I never even heard about that. That'd be impossible to do because you can't walk the whole earth. Because it's not all connected. You'd eventually get to an ocean, then how would you walk across the ocean? You couldn't do it. What did she do? Take boats across the ocean and then continue walking? She never came back. She's walking through all kinds of crazy countries. She's going to have to walk right through the Middle East, for Christ's sakes. That's probably why she didn't come back. She had to walk through all these fucking hostile countries, I bet. Like Iran, fucking Korea, you never know. Russia, China, strange things can happen in any of those countries. Slovakia, fucking Czechoslovakia, anything. The Bible says there's a firmament, I believe that as above, so below. As above, so below. Is that supposed to be like a heaven and hell reference? Like as above, so below? Like what is the context in that Bible thing? I've heard it before. I just, what does it actually mean? As above, so below. I don't know. The name rings a bell. The name sounds so familiar to me. I probably did. What's it about? As the sky, so the ocean. It's a movie? I've probably seen it then. I'm a movie buff. I like watching movies. Escaping from reality for a few minutes. But then quickly right back into reality. You know what I mean, Vern? It's hell. I believe that we're living on hell, guys. I hate to say it, but sometimes Earth could be hell. It really can be hell. There's evil presence on Earth. There's demonic forces on this Earth. There are possessions every day. That exorcism shit, people? Like the movie Exorcism? Exorcist or whatever? That shit actually really happens in real life. That's not faked, people. That's not fake shit. Where a priest has to come in and fucking, do an you know what I'm saying? That shit is real. That shit actually happens. People actually do become possessed by like these demons, and they talk like a demon. Like, rah, rah, when they talk and their fucking eyes roll in the back of their head, and they have to do an exorcism on them. That shit's real. That shit actually happens. So that shows you that there's an evil demonic presence here on this earth. And a lot of times you see that these spirits will make people do stuff that they don't normally do or want to do, like kill themselves or harm another person. And they ask why people snap and go postal sometimes and start killing people. Who knows? Demonic forces could be all over this planet, and when they catch you and want you to do something, they take over your body and force you to do it. We could be onto something with that too. Because a lot of people they're good citizens, and then one day they just snap and they, either kill themselves or start killing others. And you hear about, exorcisms, and, people can become possessed by spirits. Spirits can attach themselves to you. There are demonic forces, evil forces that can latch themselves onto you and get you to think differently and want to harm yourself or want to harm others. It's been proven by ghost hunters and shit. It's been proven. So if that's the case, what's up, Debbie? if that's the case, a lot of these murders and shit that happen might be because there's here hell on earth. There's a demonic, unexplained force here on this earth that just travels around, bouncing from person to person, making people do crazy shit. I believe that. And when they get them to either kill themselves or kill somebody else, they leave that person's body and they go find another person's body. They get that person to either kill themselves or kill other people. Then they leave that person's body. And I believe this has been going on since the beginning of time. There's demonic forces traveling around the world, going from person to person, getting them to do bad things. And it's like a roll of the dice. It's like winning the lottery. If one's ever going to catch up with you and like you enough to attach itself to you. You get what I'm saying? You never know. It could happen, but I doubt it will happen to you. But it happens. I was missing y'all. I was supposed to go to the car races tonight, but it was really hot today. The wife's not feeling well. She didn't want to go. I didn't want to go by myself, so I decided to cancel. And I really enjoy and love going to the stock car races. It's one of the only things that I still enjoy doing. You know, I grew up at a racetrack. I grew up at Lancaster and Holland Speedway. It was spent growing up at the racetrack, like in the pits. You know, I was on a pit crew. By the time I was 11, 12 years old, I was on a pit crew. I'd have to fill up the gas for the drivers, carry the big jugs of gas back. I'd be a 12-year-old carrying, you know, these big, huge drums of gas back to the cars and filling them up. Huh? I know. If I don't, it grows wild. I'm doing it a favor.
Well, get out a lawnmower and mow it.
Go get the lawnmower. Well, it's too late today. I have to go get coffee at store. We'll listen with headphones. All right, Esther Ray. All right. Understandable. Coffee is needed. I got mine over there. It's almost gone. And I'm going to be upset when it's gone because it's actually so fucking good. It's actually one of the best coffees I've ever gotten from Tim Hortons. It's right up there with some of the best. I get mine real creamy because I like my coffee real creamy. I like my teas creamy too. If I'm drinking hot tea, I like it creamy. If I'm drinking hot coffee, I like it real creamy. So I'll get 5 creams and I'll get 2 sugars. But I like that creaminess mixed in with the coffee. It just gives it that smooth vanilla-y type, taste. And that's what I'm looking for. I don't do the black coffee. I don't do strong, coffee. Tim Hortons is just right, but sometimes they can't even get it right. It all depends who's working and who's making your cup of coffee. I've had people give me 5 sugars and 2 creams. So now I start checking them. I know about how light it should be if it's got 5 creams in it. And if it don't, I'll say something. I'm like, there's no way this is 5 creams. And they'll be like, oh, you want 5 creams? I'm sorry, I put in 5 sugars. It's like, yeah, that's what I kind of figure. I like black and strong. I used to when I was little. When I was younger, when I was in high school and shit, I used to like black coffee. Like, especially nights where you'd go out partying while you were still in high school. You'd go to a house party, get shit-faced drunk, have to be at school fucking, 7:30 the fucking next day. And you're fucking out partying to 4:30 a.m. I used to drink black and strong coffee because then it would wake me the fuck up enough to where I can actually go to class and fucking be able to pay attention a little bit. I got Newport Hunters from the res today. The good old days. Yep, the good old days. High school was good old days, man. High school was good because, I wasn't I was always one of the popular kids in school. Always. The fuck is that? Sounds like some wild animals screaming. I was always one of the popular kids in school. Always fucking dating cheerleaders and fucking different girls. Every other week I had a new girlfriend. I went through the whole damn high school. I dated them all. And then I went through them all, so then it's like, okay, who do we date now? So I'd have to wait for the freshmen to come in the next year. And they'd be all new faces, so then you'd start dating all them. Then the seniors and juniors would get mad because they had a crush on you and liked you, so then it starts cat fights, and then boobies popping out, and crazy scene. I had one girl actually, I think it was for Valentine's Day. She sent me, like, literally, I'm not shitting you, like $1,000 worth of flowers into my classroom. Had this guy, like, dancing around singing, bringing me the flowers and everything. That's how, like, bad she wanted to, go out with me. And so I went out with her, and as I'm dating her, we go on a couple dates. I go on one, I start noticing something. We go on the second one, I start noticing a little more. She had, like, a little mustache coming in. And that was a no-no in my book. So I broke it off with her. After about 2 dates, it was about 2 or 3 days, broke it off with her. She ended up dating somebody else and getting all kinds of STDs from that person, and just kind of falling off the radar, and nobody talked to her anymore. You stud. Used to be a stud. Now I'm more like a fucking dying moose. How does a dying moose sound? I don't know. I always wanted to fucking see a moose in the wild. Moose. I heard moose meat is pretty good. I heard it's pretty good meat. Moose meat. Caribou meat's pretty good too. Caribou. Deer meat. It's good stuff. Elk. Bison. Bear meat. Gator meat. Rattlesnake meat. Duck meat. Geese meat. I'm a vegan. I'm sorry, Penny. I'm sorry you're a vegan. That sucks. I couldn't be a vegan. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. Well, no, I probably could do it. Technically, I think I could do it. You know why? Are vegans allowed to eat potatoes? Can vegans still have French fries? Can vegans eat French fries? Because French fries are my favorite food. So if vegans could eat French fries, I could turn into a vegan. I really could. Oh, you got it, Gary. You got it. I haven't had one of those in ages. It's been over 6 months since I had a steak. Definitely. It's probably been about 8 or 9 months since I had a steak. I'm not a vegan, LOL. I thought you said you were. A vegetarian? Bunny meat. Ooh, bunny meat. Not a lot of fat on bunny meat, I don't think. I think from what I heard, they're very lean. There's not a lot of fat on bunny meat. And they are very high in protein. Bunnies are packed with protein. You can actually get sick from eating too much bunny. So vegetarian. So you could have French fries, right? Being a vegetarian, you could eat French fries. As long as they're fried in a grease that don't have meats fried in it. Hey, sign me up. I sign up. I could eat French fries for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. In fact, when I was a kid, I used to eat French fries for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right up through high school. When I was a kid, I don't know, I was about 3 or 4 years old. My mom said I used to fucking wake up in the middle of the night, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 4, and I would sneak out of the house, and my mom's friend across the street. And she used to always make me French fries during the day. Any day I wanted French fries, I can go to her house and say, "Can you make me French fries?" And she would make me French fries. She always had them. And my mom would always, bitch and never make me French fries unless it was dinner time. So I'd wake up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. My mom used to tell me I used to break out of the house, and I used to walk across the street and knock on Iva's door at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and ask her to cook me French fries. She would cook me French fries, put on cartoons for me in her living room. I'd eat the French fries, watch the cartoons, then she'd bring me back home. Then when I got older, when I was in high school, I started dating this black chick. Well, she was mixed. She was half white, half black. Her name was Alicia. And she knew how much I loved French fries. So one morning, she decided to fry me up a bunch of French fries before school and came to the bus stop with a big Ziploc bag filled with salty French fries with the skin still on them, like homemade French fries. I was like, oh my God, these are so good. I devoured them for breakfast before we even got to school. She seen how quick I ate them, so she started making me French fries every day. So like every day for like a year, I had someone bringing me French fries to the bus stop every morning. McDonald's fries used to be the shit back in the day. They used to be so fucking good. But something happened. They're not as good anymore. Same thing with Burger King. Burger King used to have different tasting fries. They were better. They were actually pretty good. They were good fries. I liked Burger King's fries. They were good as hell. But then all of a sudden, Burger King changed to a different kind of fry. And now Burger King's fries kind of suck. They give you fries in them small-ass containers. They barely fill them. They just suck. And McDonald's, they're still good, but they lost their taste like they used to have. They don't have the same taste. They just don't. They don't. They just don't. Yeah, McDonald's fries suck. No. They're still better than most of the places, except for Wendy's. Wendy's has good French fries for the simple fact because they still keep the skin on the fries. That's why Wendy overrules all the rest. I don't know if you guys have Wendy's in your area. Probably not in the UK. Gary, you might have some Wendy's down near you in Pennsylvania. Possibly. People don't eat cat or dog, so why other animals? I don't know. But I can guarantee you if there was an apocalypse, Penny, if an extinction level event were to happen here on Earth, I can guarantee you with 100% certainty, people will start eating dogs and cats. Well, supposedly there are people that do. Like the Vietnamese will eat dogs. There are certain bands and certain, little pockets of Vietnamese in Vietnam that do eat dogs. They do. They love puppy meat the best, they say. I've actually seen videos of them butchering the dogs, the puppies, and the other smaller dogs, butchering them and prepping the meat, and eating them and having these big gatherings and everybody smiling, laughing, eating dog meat. It was disgusting. But during an apocalypse, there's going to be a lot of food sources getting cut off because people are going to be hunting. So people are going to start resorting to their family pets in order to eat. Me? No. I could not eat my family pet. I would hunt and get something else and feed my family pet to keep my family pet alive. That's right, King. Never eat you, buddy. Never. Yep. I ain't never going to eat you. No, why would I eat you? You ain't got enough meat on you anyways. No, you ain't got no meat on you, Bubba. You want to go inside? Mama wet you out and then she don't bring you back inside. Go ahead. I couldn't ever eat my rabbits. Never say never, Penny. Could be fight or flight. That could be the only meat left on the planet for a couple of months. And if you don't eat it, you die. You never know what you might do. You say it now, but when put in that situation, you never know. I'm just going to say that. You might start sauteing those rabbits up. A little stir-fried rabbit meat. A little sauteed, baked. Put some fine seasonings on them. Some Montreal steak seasoning. Juice those bad boys up. Maybe brush a little lemon sauce on it or something. Put a little fennel in there. Fennel seed. Bunnies love me. They come to their name. Do they really? That's pretty cool. I never had a bunny for a pet. Well, that's not. The sky's not there no more. The thing went away. Now it's getting darker. Never had a bunny, but that's not totally true because we did have a bunny who lived in our backyard back here for a few years. I don't know what happened to him. He has since either moved on or he got hit by a car or something, but I haven't seen him this year at all. There was a little family of them. There was an adult bunny, and he had a little one with him too. After a while, first he was coming by himself, and then after a while he had a little one with it. And they just hung out in my yard all night long. Even in the early mornings, I'd open the back door, they'd be chilling out here. Sometimes in the afternoon, they'd be out here. They'd be in a shady spot eating grass. Sometimes I'd throw lettuce out here, carrots and stuff like that for them. They barely ever ate them, once in a blue moon. Litter train. You know what animal I don't want to get, for the simple fact that I don't like the smell they produce, is ferrets. Because I've known people who have had ferrets, and throughout the course of my life, I've known probably 5 or 6 people that have owned ferrets and adored ferrets. Had 3, 4, 5, 6 of them in their house, and their houses all stunk to high heaven. They smelled like a reptile cage, like you were at the zoo in the reptile part or something. It just had this real funky smell to it in there. It was because of the ferrets. They're very intelligent animals, though. What happened, Debbie? I didn't read. The little tiniest puppy died at about 2 weeks, but the rest are great. Aw, I'm sorry. That sucks, man. You hate to see, little animals die, especially puppies or kittens. That's why I've been taking care of the kittens at my work. You know what I'm saying? And feeding them because, I feel bad for the little guys. I just do. It's a cruel, cruel world out there, and they're not going to get fed in the east side, in the ghetto. They're in the worst neighborhood in the whole city. And they don't stand a fighting chance. There's all kinds of stray cats around there always fighting. You always hear them fighting and ran. There's one cat who actually has a hole in the side of his head. I don't know how he's still alive. He looks half dead. But he's got a hole in the side of his fucking head. From either getting bit or clawed up and it got infected. So I've been feeding them because I don't want the little critters to go hungry. Plus I want to get them strong, big and strong, so that when they do get older, they have the strength and the courage, to go out there and, check out the world instead of just staying in that back part of the warehouse. There's like 2 little big rooms that they hang out in. because there's little holes in the garage area that lead outside, and they come in through there. And there's a hole in the roof in the one area, and they come in through there too. But now that I've been feeding the kittens, more and more cats have been coming and coming inside there now. They all know, oh, here's where the goodies are at. So they all come to eat now. And then they'll have like 20 cats there, and then the kittens won't get fed because the bigger cats come in and bully them and push them around. Then I got to go out there and chase the bigger cats away. I feel bad doing it, but if I don't do it, they won't save the kittens any food. They'll eat it all, and the poor kittens will just be hungry. So I like to pour it and then sit there for a few minutes, because if I stay in the room, the other cats, the bigger cats, won't come out and eat. So what I do is when I pour the mountain of food in the bowl, I sit there in the room right next to the bowl. I'll like sit down. The kittens ain't afraid of me. They come like right up next to me. They won't let me touch them or nothing yet, but they're not afraid of me, and they come right up to me. They know me as the person who feeds them. He's cool. We can trust him. And they come out and they eat, and then I sit there for probably about 5 to 10 minutes while they're chowing down, just so they can get a head start on the other cats, and this way at least I know they got some kind of food in their belly for the day. You know, that they won't be going to bed starving. They might still be hungry, but they're not starving, that's for sure. Hope I can rent a car to take a road trip to come on. You again, cuz. What are you talking about, babe? Thank you, Penny. Remember to like button. Film the kitties I want to see. Oh, you want me to film them, Esther Ray? Okay. When I go to work tomorrow, I'll film them. Eating while they're eating, I'll film them. And I'll put it up, but I'm not going to post it on the channel. I'm going to upload it unlisted, and then I'm going to put it in one of my playlists, probably. I'll make a separate playlist, and I'll just call it Kitty Cats. Kitty Cats. Alright, there's 4 of them. Probably soon to be more, because there's a lot of bigger cats staying in there now, and I'm sure they're humping, so I'm sure there's going to be more in there soon. As of right now, though, there's only 4. There might have been 5. I could have sworn the first day that I noticed the kittens, I thought I seen 5, so one of them might have not have survived. Probably was the straggler that couldn't get to the milk because the other kittens wouldn't let it get to the milk, and it probably starved to death. They started eating the cat food earlier than they should have, though, because I didn't know how old they were, so I started putting down the food, and they came to investigate, and they were so small. The one actually choked on a piece of food, and I thought he was going to die. He came right up to me and looked so sad, and he couldn't breathe, and you could tell he was trying to breathe. He was like, and I was like, oh, I feel so bad. What do I do? I didn't want to pick it up and do the Heimlich because he would scratch the shit out of me. So I didn't do nothing, and finally he fucking was able to force it up somehow, and he like spit it up and spit it out. And then what does the idiot do? He sniffs it, licks it, and then picks it up and eats it again and swallows it. The same piece he just choked on. He didn't learn his lesson. And then that's when I noticed them, because before then, the first couple of days I noticed them, I wasn't feeding them yet, because I was seeing them straggling behind the mom, and they were still like, you know, trying to get milk from her, so I figured they were kind of small. I'll be right back, y'all. I haven't seen any UFO sightings last night at all. Last night was quiet. No sightings at all. I don't know if you guys have seen any strange stuff in the last 24 hours or so in your skies. The only thing strange I seen was that giant chemtrail that took up half the fucking sky that just formed out of nowhere and kept spreading and moving to the east until it was down to the horizon line to the east, which is fucked up. Because there was no plane that was doing that. A plane did not do that. So where did that come from? How was that made? How did these fucking giant chemtrail plumes just form out of nowhere and keep spreading and spreading and spreading? Almost like somebody was pushing a button or painting the sky. Fucking crazy shit, people. Al, who's that? Al 1978. Hello, everyone. Well, hello there, Miss 1978. I take it you're 41 years old? Since you were born in 78? 40, 41? I was born in 81. I just missed the 70s by a year. 80s were a good time. They were a fun time. Loved the 80s. 80s fucking rocked. They were the best. They definitely were the best. '80s were the best around. '80s were the best. I was an '80s baby. '90s weren't that bad. At least the beginning part of the '90s, the first half. You know, the second half, things started to turn around for the worst. And by the 2000s, that's when things just started going south real fucking quick on this planet. Jesus, all these fucking notifications pissing me off. Every 2 seconds I gotta swipe. I gotta start going through my subscription list and unsubscribing from pages that I don't watch. There's a lot of pages that I just subscribe to the people for, God knows whatever reason. Sewing channels and everything else. I don't know how the fuck I got subscribed to these things that I need to unsubscribe from, because the notifications drive me nuts all day long. It's hard to keep up with my own notifications because I have so many notifications that come through at one time. I don't get any for like 3 minutes, and then all of a sudden I'll get 19 that come through all in a row. Bam, 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 bam. One after another, and I'm clearing them, and they're just coming through. Puppies are 4 weeks old. Miss, good night, dear. Much love to you and your family. You're taking off, Gary? Well, thank you for stopping by, brother. I appreciate it. I'm going to get going here, too, in a couple minutes. I got to go get dinner before they close the place down. Get some fuel for the UFO spot in the night. I'm going to go fuel in me, come back out, retool, look for some UFOs. Oh, yeah. Bro, I left a joke for you earlier. I didn't get that, Gary. I didn't get it. I'll have to go back and look for it. I don't get a lot of notifications. Well, I do. I get them so fast, I'm just clearing. This has become the regular 8 o'clock hangout. Well, for some, it's the regular 2 a.m. hangout. Ain't that right, Penny? Penny candy. Oh man, that takes me back to the 80s right there. We used to have penny candy stores in the west side of Buffalo. The west side was predominantly all Italian families, including mine, because I grew up in a mostly all Italian family. The only one who wasn't Italian was my father. My mother's full-blooded, 100% Italian. My brothers and sisters are all full-blooded, 100% Italian. And I have a different father, and my dad is something else. Swedish and fucking German or something. I don't fucking know what he is. Never really looked into it.
but it was all Italians, and they had all these little storefronts down Grant Street. There'd be the meat market, a couple of meat markets, barber shops, different stores, different pizzerias, different things, and there was a penny candy store right next to Gershio's and Sons, which was a fruit and produce place. They sold all the fruits and veggies and shit like that. They had like the New York City style, with the fruits outside and shit of the store, and with the drapes over them. It was a sweet setup. But right next door there was a penny candy store, and they had every piece of candy on the planet imaginable. Everlasting, Gobstop, they had them all. They had everything. Okay? And everything was a penny. So we would get $1. We would find $1 or ask somebody, save up $1. And we'd go there and buy 100 pieces of fucking candy for $1 and literally get sick eating so much fucking candy till we fucking threw up. Those were the days. Getting sick off of penny candy. Because $1 gets you 100. Then, through the years, right around the time I was about 11 or 12 years old, the penny candy store just disappeared. I don't know, the owner died supposedly, and then somebody else took it over and then converted it to something else, and it was gone forever. But that was the fucking store, man. The penny candy store. And it was set up like the store, and you ever see the movie Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? The original one, not the fucking new one with Johnny Depp. The one with Gene Wilder. The original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. You know the store that little Charlie goes in to buy the candy bar where he gets the golden ticket? Well, the penny candy store looked almost exactly just like that. It was kind of a store that looked just like that, except it had like, way more candy everywhere. And I remember we used to go in there, and after we seen the movie, we wanted Wonka bars, because they made Wonka bars. And we would want Wonka chocolates. I remember that. I remember Ants getting some of my penny candy, was trying to save it. I cried for days. What Debbie say that was funny? I painted all my fairy hair blonde in my fairy garden. That's funny. That is funny. I was too busy playing doctor with the girls. I got in trouble a couple times in kindergarten for looking under girls' skirts. Playing doctor. We had this little fake stethoscope, and I'd be reaching my hand under the skirts and stuff. I got in trouble for it. And then one time, during nap time, everybody would lay down for a nap. When I was in kindergarten, they had nap time, so you had to buy these little mats or these little rugs. Bring it in with you, and every day you'd go to your locker and grab your fucking nap fucking mat, and then we'd take a nap for an hour. Fucking every day they'd make us take naps when we were in kindergarten. And I remember one time my napping spot was under the one table, the circular table over in the corner. I used to always lay under the table. Well, the one day, instead of napping, apparently I decided to draw stick figures all over the fucking floor with crayon. Okay? Because we had that marble kind of floor in the school. And it was like a whitish marble almost. And I decided to draw stick figures with black and red fucking crayons. The only problem is the stick figures were naked women, and I painted the big jugs hanging off the sticks and everything like that. That was the last straw. They called my mom in for that incident, and I actually got expelled, and I got thrown out of the school. It was a Native American school predominantly. There was mostly Native American kids, and the only way you can go there if you weren't Native American, you had to live within like a 5-block radius of the school. And I was on the 5th block, but I was on the other side of the street, so they wouldn't accept me. So we had to use a neighbor's mailing address for me to go there. I remember that. And I went there because it was so close, and I ended up getting kicked out of there for drawing naked stick figure women on the floor during nap time and looking up the skirts and stuff. That didn't help either, because that was just all, points tallied up to me getting kicked out. So I got expelled and thrown out of school when I was in kindergarten. Had to go to another school. Went to school 17 from kindergarten through second. So I went there for, first and second I went there, and like a couple weeks of kindergarten. So about 2 years and a little bit, I went there, school 17. Then I had to go to West Hurdle Academy. I went to West Hurdle Academy for a little bit, from the grades of grade 3 all the way up until 7th grade. And then for 8th grade, we moved to Riverside, and I went to Riverside Academy, and I went there for my 8th grade, graduated grammar school from there. Then I went on to go to high school at Riverside High School. I went to Riverside High School for my freshman year. Well, not even, yeah, my freshman year I went to Riverside High School. Then something happened at Riverside. I can't remember what the hell happened, but I had to go to another school, and I went to Bennett. I went to Bennett High School for like 3.5 weeks, and then after Bennett High School, which was all the way in the east side, the ghetto of the city, I came out here to Tonawanda and went to Kenmore West, where I graduated from. In the year, I was supposed to graduate in 1999, but I failed 10th grade because I went from the city schools to the suburb schools, and they did things totally different. And they wouldn't pass me. Even though I passed my exams, I fucked up on the marking periods by not being in class, so they didn't pass me, which was fucked up, because I passed all the exams and got the required grades needed to pass those exams. So, I'm just babbling on now. I'm blabbling on. I gotta go, y'all. I gotta go get something to eat. Peace and love, y'all. Y'all be easy. Take care. Thank you for stopping by.